Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy, and I'm so glad that you're here. This is my first Zoom live, so bear with me here. We're going to be talking about real estate, specifically in York County, Pennsylvania, but I'm also going to touch base on how I can help you if you're moving to a different part of the state or to a different part of the country. Today's conversation will be all about clarity, choice, and feeling empowered about your next chapter. Many homeowners reach a point in their home where they no longer feel like it fits their lifestyle, and they're not sure whether they should stay, remodel, downsize, relocate. All of those things come to mind. My goal in this seminar is not to push you in any direction, but to help you understand your options clearly. We walk through the most important questions to ask yourself, the financial considerations that matter, and how your home supports or sometimes complicates the life you want moving forward. By the end, you'll have a better sense of whether your home is serving your future or holding it back. And if you want personalized walkthrough of your home to discuss value, possible improvements, or what transition looks like for you, I'll be offering a free, no pressure home appointments with a customized readiness checklist. So let's get started. Well, hopefully you can see this. And this is a little slideshow that I put together to help you understand some questions that might come into your mind and just clarify. And we'll go through a readiness checklist. So, the first stage is, of course, the bubbling up of, am I ready to leave this house? Do I need to leave this house? There's so many reasons for that. Some of you are here because um, the house is too big. Some of you are here because it's too small. Some of you are here because family has moved out of state or a different location and you want to move towards them. You want to move for a job. All of those lifestyle shifts, your priorities change. Desire for ease and simplicity might be coming into your thoughts, and the home no longer just matches the season of your life. So, a number one question to ask yourself is, do I want a future with less hassle? So, thinking about the maintenance and the cleaning and the yard work and the repair stress. Sometimes a home has lost its usefulness in the way that you may have your mechanics all in order, and you have a relatively new furnace and a relatively new roof, but the house itself is not accommodating your needs. Maybe you have a split level and it's just too many steps. So those are things. Is it a hassle? Is there too much to clean? Those kinds of things. Question number two is, should you modify or remodel or move? So that can get pretty in depth. It's a thoughtful consideration to figure out whether or not the space is something that you need any longer. Um, Whether or not you have a yard that's too big and you don't want to mow that. So, and then you want to think about, well, what's the cost versus the longevity of this home? Well, yeah, it works for right now, but maybe in 10 years, it's going to become a little more difficult. So, how do you weigh the cost of all of those things? Maybe it makes sense to stay and just pay someone to do those things. Or in the long run, maybe just downsize. They're coming up with, builders are coming up with all kinds of cool layouts, much more aging friendly layouts. And, maybe it's something that you want to think about. I'd rather stretch out rather than get real tall, that kind of thing. And then there's also the factor that if you're in a great neighborhood, but the homes are selling for X amount, and now in order for you to get what you want, improvement wise, you're going to have to spend 100 or 150,000. Will your home then sell for that much more in the long run? Things to think about. Question number three, where will my money go the farthest? That's a big question. Um, so if you have equity in your home now, easy to pull that out and use it, especially if you can stay within the value of the other neighborhood homes. Um, but that's tricky too. That leads to, okay, well, I am pretty much satisfied with my home and I don't need to move. I'm just gonna take out a small home equity line of credit and use that for making the improvements on your house, maybe adding a bedroom or a bathroom on the first floor, or finishing the basement so the kids can romp around, that kind of thing. Cost of living differences. Of course, if you're thinking about a different area, one area might cost more than the other. Taxes are always a factor. These are things that we need to take into account. And then financial security moving forward. Do you feel like right now is the time for you to take money out, make that big move? And that's where the realtor comes in to analyze those costs for you so that moving forward you're making the right decision. Am I up for maintaining this home forever? That's a question that lends to your thought process. Physically, energetically, and emotionally. The house is too small, and you feel like you might explode in there. You need more room for stuff. You plan on buying some more things, um, or that you see the chipping paint, and it's going to end up needing extra care. Are you up for that? Maybe you love that. I mean, once I get into it, I mean, I just recently painted two rooms and it was really hard to get into it. But when I finally started painting, it was fine. So those are things that you'll talk about with on your assessment at your meeting with me. Question number five, do I still want to maintain this much space? Of course, you're thinking about cleaning and downsizing versus right sizing and all the unused rooms. And what would you do with that? How will staying or moving impact my inner circle? Um, Family, friends, support structure, lifestyle, all of those things come into play. I would suggest starting, a little notepad to write your thoughts down when you're just beginning to think about this move. Just, gloss over while you're in the kitchen one day. If you think of something, write it down so that you can circle back and think about those things that were most important to you about moving or staying put. As a realtor, I can always help you figure out where um, your money is best well spent and then connect you with the best professionals in your area. Understanding the market. So I work in South Central PA. We also have offices in Maryland and Florida, but we can help you anywhere in the United States. So if you need a connection, I'm happy to help you with that. But in South Central PA, we're pretty lucky. The values are steady. They're dropping ever so slightly, and each in our area, we tend to look at our townships or our school districts, and we can pinpoint what's going on in each area those areas. And they fluctuate a little up and down depending on where you're at, but we're pretty steady with what we've seen in the past year or two. What we are seeing is more of the home inspections coming into play. Negotiating is a little stronger. Buyers get to negotiate, but sellers do still have a strong equity position. And of course, timing matters for everything. As far as real estate goes, one day your house is worth this, the next day it's worth that. So it's just like the stock market, it's up and down. So planning ahead pays off, thinking about what's necessary for your house in order to make that leap, and then structuring that you're ready, set the date, move forward, consult with all the professionals that you can to make that happen. And then the day that you're ready to go on the market, um, is your best point and where you're most likely going to get your most value. So options going forward, stay and modify. Maybe you want to right size. Maybe you want to relocate. That's a little thing that people often don't realize that they can reach out to their realtor about. If you've got a job opportunity in Ohio or down in North Carolina, the real estate agent that you use to purchase your house can help you find an agent there. And it's worth it to just go on Google and search that out. uh, I don't recommend that. I recommend talking to a person that knows you, your real estate agent. I could spend 15 minutes with you on the phone getting to know what your needs are and then locate the right person to work with you. And then sell when the time is right. When you're emotionally ready and you've got all your ducks in an order and your house has been cleaned up, red up, as we say here in Pennsylvania, to the point that you feel that it's ready to put on the market, then that's what we do. And then I am seeing a lot of people that want to rent instead of this. They're selling their home and they're just going to go rent somewhere for a while and figure things out. There is nothing wrong with that. But just keep in mind that you're locked in for a year and every year those rents could go up. So again, it's just a concerted effort, something that you want to seriously think about um, before you go ahead and do it. So my invitation is a home review and a readiness checklist. And I offer private, no pressure appointments, clarity about your home's future, tailored suggestions for staying or moving, free customized readiness checklist offered to you just with a phone call away. So now I'm going to close out of this. And I don't think it recorded. So this was my first shot out. So let's see how it went. And I don't think it recorded at all.